Thank you very much, Mr. President. As this is the first time that we preside over the VTC for this month, I would like to wish you all the best, Mr. President, and rest assured of our full support. And I also would like to express our deep appreciation to Ambassador Zhang Jun and his team for the excellent presidency of last month amidst the difficult challenges that we are all facing. Now, Mr. President, I also would like to thank the SRSG and head of MINUSMA, Mr. Mahamat Saleh Annadif, for his comprehensive briefing, giving us an outline of what's happening on the ground. And also to welcome His Excellency Minister Djani, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Mali. Now, this meeting is taking place in a very challenging time amidst the global pandemic of COVID-19. We, all of us, must continue to show our solidarity and support to the government and the people of Mali. Mali, like all of us, is not immune to COVID-19 and thus necessitate international support. Having said that, allow me to share 3 points. First, we welcome several political progresses. That includes the conclusion of inclusive national dialogue, the first round of legislative election, the deployment of the first reconstituted unit of the Malian Armed Force to Kidal, and the high-level workshop on women's participation. Women are an important element. We concur with the Secretary General that it will take time for this achievement to translate into tangible improvement in the situation on the ground. Yet, it is crucial to continue supporting the Malian stakeholders to continue the implementation of the peace agreement. That remains to be the only viable path for long-term peace and stability in Mali. We look forward for further progress, including decentralization, the functioning of local authorities, the development of Northern Development Zone, and, I quote, the catch-up phase of the accelerated DDR process. On the second point, the security situation is dire, with ongoing and increasing terrorist activities in northern and central Mali. We welcome the commitment to step up efforts to fight terrorism in Mali and the region, including through the G5 Sahel Joint Force. We also welcome the consideration by African Union on the possible deployment of a joint multinational task force to further degrade terrorist groups in the Sahel. We particularly deplore the continued targeting of MINUSMA and international forces in Mali. We would like to express our deepest sympathy for the victims and prayers for speedy recovery for those injured. Despite this challenging situation, we commend MINUSMA that continues to implement its mandate and welcome efforts in advancing with the adaptation plan. Third, the humanitarian situation is worsening, with increase in the number of people displaced and suffer from food insecurity. We must also consider the risk of the spread of COVID-19 in Mali that will put further strain to the humanitarian situation. We are concerned that humanitarian access in northern and central Mali remains to face challenges due to security situation. We would like to call for safe and unhindered access for humanitarian assistance. In conclusion, Mr. President, all Malian stakeholders with regional and international support must continue efforts in advancing peace process and to improve security situation in this difficult time. We, as the Security Council, should continue to support efforts by the government of Mali. We must ensure the gains achieved thus far will not be reversed and will eventually translate to long-term peace, stability, and prosperity in Mali. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
And International Corporation of Mali. In accordance with Rule 39 of the Council's Provisional Rules of Procedure, I invite Mr. Mahamat Saleh Annadif, Special Representative of the Secretary General for Mali and head of the United Nations Multidimensional Integrated Stabilization Mission in Mali, to participate in this meeting. It is so decided. The Security Council will now begin its consideration of item 2 of the agenda. I wish to draw the attention of council members to document S/2020/223, the report of the Secretary General on the situation of Mali. I now give the floor to Mr. Mahamat Saleh Annadif.
Mr. President, member of the Council, Mr. Chief Ledrame, Minister of Foreign Affairs in Mali, it is an honor and a great pleasure for me to address you remotely to present the Secretary General's report on Mali at a time when the whole world is facing the COVID-19 pandemic, and to commend the technical performance that enabled us to have this meeting. Mali is not an exception to the pandemic. The country has recorded, as of today, 56 positive cases, including 2 in MINUSMA and 5 deaths. This has led MINUSMA and the country team to develop a contingency plan with different scenarios, which allows many of us to continue to work from our respective residence and some other for special reason and on involuntary basis to return to their countries of usual residence while working remotely. Mr. President, member of the Council, as you can see, despite this exceptional condition, MINUSMA continues to fulfill the mission entrusted to it by your Council. This in accordance with Resolution 424/80, which I assign MINUSMA to prioritize, namely the implementation of the Agreement for Peace and Reconciliation in Mali and supporting the political framework for the management of the crisis in the center, notably the protection of civilians, the reduction in inter-community violence, the strengthening of the presence of state, and the return of basic social services. As part of the implementation of the agreement and as a result of the impetus provided by the holding of the National Inclusive Dialogue, I am pleased to report the following. 1. The redeployment of the first reconstituted units of the Malian Defense and Security Forces in North, notably in Gao, Timbuktu, Kidal, and Menaka, has become a reality with more than 1,000 elements deployed since February 2020. 2. The Prime Minister visit to the North region, notably to Kidal, Tessalit, and Aguelot, is a demonstration of trust building among the signatory parties to the agreement. 3. The Agreement Monitoring Committee has resumed its activity, unlike the Inter-Malian framework, whose activities are slowing down. 4. The high-level workshop on the inclusion of women was held and enjoyed strong participation. 5. The first round of legislative election was conducted in peaceful atmosphere despite the kidnapping of the leader of the opposition, Soumaïla Cissé, 3 days before election day. At the national level, the third quota for women has been respected. With regard to the center. A second strategic priority of the United Nations, MINUSMA continues to implement its adaptation plan. A total of 19 additional civil staff have already been redeployed to Mopti. As part of MINUSMA's efforts to respond to early warnings, a hotline has been established in Mopti to serve the civilian population. The force continues Operation Buffalo for better protection of civilians and has established temporary operating bases around sensitive localities. With the support of MINUSMA, the Malian authorities have continued conducting dialogue and reconciliation initiatives. The consultation framework of the Permanent Secretariat for the Management of the Crisis held a series of meetings in Mopti with local authority, civil society, and representatives of the Dogon and the Fulani from Bandiagara, Bankas, Douenza, and Kor. The Prime Minister visit sent out a strong signal by ordering the dismantling of checkpoints illegally installed by militia along the main Mopti-Bankas road. It is to be hoped that concrete action to fight impunity will be taken as the number of displaced persons continue to increase. Mr. President, member of the Council, in terms of regional security cooperation, MINUSMA continues to provide logistical support to the G5 Sahel Joint Force. In this context, I am pleased to inform you that the construction work and the Joint Force headquarters in Bamako has started. Mr. President, member of the Council, lastly, I would like to highlight the exemplary cooperation that has been established between the United Nations system in Mali and the government is fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Since 19 March, commercial flights to Mali have been suspended. Group gathering are prohibited, and curfew has been introduced from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. However, MINUSMA and the country team continue to fulfill their mandates while complying with government decisions. Thus, by decision of Secretary General, the rotation of armed contingent is suspended until 30 June 2020. However, exception may be envisaged for the implementation of the mandate with authorization on a case-by-case basis and respecting isolation period and other guidelines to prevent the spread of the virus. Staff with medical condition or wishing to join their families have been given the opportunity to do so using special flight requests by some embassies and authorized by the government. Mr. President, member of the Council, this is a brief account of the situation the situation on Mali. As you can see, we face many challenges, including the safety and well-being of the whole UN family in Mali, but also have real hopes through the capacity of resilience of the Malian people. Thank you for your attention.
I thank Mr. Annadif for his briefing. This concludes our live broadcast portion of this meeting.